This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Wednesday, you two.
Yes, sir. Good to see you,
Tight
brother.
little panel, keeping it tight.
Because I still haven't found what I'm looking for, you two.
I was going to go with the three best friends that, from...
Now it's the two best friends after that.
Okay.
It's back to two-man crew with me and Al, like
right.
it
Don't
always
do that.
should be.
I was so excited for today.
We love it.
All right, Scarlett Johansson walked the red carpet at Cannes for her new movie, Asteroid City. She looked pretty in pink and in a floor-length Prada gown and was photographed with her husband, SNL star Colin Yost. Is that right, or do I say Jost? Of course it is.
You were just joking.
I was just yoasting. She also showed off her giant back tattoo that includes a vine of roses, which is pretty, and then a lamb off to the side. I wonder which came first, the lamb or the roses?
It's interesting.
It is an interesting question. So Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson also made headlines at the premiere, but not for a good reason. So this photo of them went viral after some tabloids claimed Tom was losing his temper. Looks like it right there, huh? With the festival staffer. But Rita was quick to respond, good on you, Rita, on Instagram by posting the photo with the caption, quote, "This is called I Can't Hear You. People are screaming, what did you say? Where are we supposed to go? Wilson!"
Oh, man, I loved Wilson.
Do you know how many people are just probably yelling his name and you're trying to figure it out? Have you ever been in a noisy stadium and just tried to make plans like, hey, meet me at the concession? You're like, what? The fact that he's trying to do this at Cannes with his wife. And look, Tori, everybody's not 17 years old. Sometimes when people, make an expression, they wrinkle up a little bit. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you're over 21 years old.
That's very true.
So I just think the idea that Tom Hanks, who's given us so much, doesn't get the benefit of the doubt.
I was just going to say, what is the evidence that Tom Hanks has been a jerk in the past?
Ever.
Never, ever. So I'm just glad that he and the festival staffer himself came forward and said they didn't know where they were going. It was nothing out of the sort, but they Ben Affleck'd it.
Yeah,
that's the new
they
verb.
took a bad.
That's it.
They took a bad photo and tried to make something of it, and there is a little evidence, right, Tori, behind that, because he had this photo and then he didn't appear in the cast photo.
Yeah. Now the cast is incredible with this Wes Anderson movie. Again, I love me some Wes Anderson. Rushmore is my #2 favorite movie of all time. But it includes Tom Hanks, Jason Schwartzman, Matt Dillon, Steve Carell, Ed Norton, Margot Robbie, Jeff Goldblum, Bryan Cranston. And for some reason, Tom Hanks wasn't in the big photo shoot, and people are making another kind of
So they're putting two and two together and trying to equal it that Tom Hanks is a bad guy.
Yeah.
What is with
he
this?
takes it out on the usher.
And the usher stuck up for him. And he's like, no, that's not true.
Don't try and make something square that's a circle. He's a good guy. He just might.
But isn't that kind of what the hunger that the American public... Al has a handful of gummy worms.
You know what he said? I asked for
It distracted me.
I asked for one. He said, if you have a good A block, you could have a gummy worm. So annoying.
That's so Al that he just has a handful of gummy. You got to show these gummy worms over there. I shamed you. I shamed you. That's all right.
I don't drink. This is my.
I got it. But it totally threw me off, and I didn't know where to go from there. I was trying to make like a sophisticated point, and I was like,
gummy worm.
Squirrel. There was no sophisticated point.
No.
But yeah, leave Tom Hanks alone. That's the end of it.
Yeah. Especially when this new movie is supposed to be just fantastic.
And now you're talking with gummy worms.
It's really embarrassing.
All right, so stay tuned. Stephanie Jones, I thought that was a moth. Our Stephanie Jones is in Cannes now, and she was actually on the red carpet for the Tom Hanks movie. We'll see that a little later in the show. Okay, guys, but let's get to some other stories right now. Speaking of premieres, Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up with his son, or with his kids, I should say. His son comes later, for his new Netflix series, Fubar. Arnold posted on the red carpet with his daughters, Christina and Catherine, and his son-in-law, Chris Pratt. And I was just talking about his son. His son Joseph also walked the red carpet, but posed for pics solo. Look at this. Is he so Arnold?
Just so what? Arnold.
He is the product of Arnold's affair, if you do remember, with the housekeeper. He was asked about his relationship with his half-siblings and his dad. Let's watch.
Do you get a chance to hang with your brothers and sisters a lot?
I mean, that's something that that we don't really talk about. So, yeah, it's amazing having a father like him who is so loving and so supportive. Although, it was obviously different circumstances than most, it's something that I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, it's, I know we've been joking around a lot to start the start the show, but this is kind of, it feels a little sad.
This is icky. This is a little icky, right?
It feels sad because I know that he threw himself into bodybuilding. I'm assuming that's trying to connect with his father.
For sure.
And he built, his musculature is so similar, his face. And he didn't decide how he came into this world. None of us did. And he happens to be the product of an affair. And guess what? A lot of people, whether they know it or not, that's how you're here too, buddy. That just means that maybe some people covered some things up before there was 23andMe.
That's true.
But it doesn't matter. You're here now. You're one of the lucky ones. And the fact that you have a young, healthy, seems like well-mannered, good son. Like, I don't know what Arnold seems like a super nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's that family dynamics, and that's icky for me to get into.
Right.
I'm just saying I would like to see some resolution, because I wouldn't, if my kids were at an event and they were posing at a different station than me, that would be.
You could never have that.
It would destroy me probably forever. So I don't know what's going on, but I'd like them to fix it just on a human level. We don't need to see it. Just fix it.
I completely agree. The optics of him walking alone on the carpet after the group, it was so bad, and the publicist might have tried to fix it. And I wonder if there's some tension between the children and he, and if that's perhaps why they wanted to keep the distance. But again, I agree with you. The optics on that was a very weird, he's shunned, he's alone, he's not part of us. And he also didn't seem exactly prepped when asked about the kids either. So he just, I don't feel like he was included, I guess, in that, in that family.
He didn't even seem like he had a prepared answer, which you know that's
not
the
being
question you're going to get. The only question.
Right.
If you show up at an event without Jordan and they said, where's your wife? And you're a famous celebrity couple, and you go, yeah, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's the only thing
for sure.
You should be ready to talk about.
For sure, but he seems in good spirits, right? He's happy to be there, and I'm glad that he's not so secluded. He's like, I don't want to go because I feel like the way I do. Maybe there's just something there. Maybe they're trying to work on it. I think he gave the right answer, right?
So
saying, listen,
truthful too.
Yeah, we don't talk about that right now. And maybe they're just in a place where things are a little delicate. But I'm glad he's there. I mean, there's no denying that's Arnold's kid.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
he's blessed with those genes. He does seem like a nice young man.
Right.
So
and
I'm
Arnold
happy
seems
for
like
him.
a great guy. That's why I'm like, guys, at the end of this, you know, I knew people. You know, I'm thinking about my father, and you know, there was a period of time where he didn't talk to his brothers, and they reconnected for probably the last 10 years of my dad's life. And I know my dad and his brothers regretted. There was old school. You just don't talk. And they didn't talk. They lost 15 years of a brother. And it's such a waste over something I'm sure none of them will remember now. So please, just for their sake.
And just, you know, be careful how you judge people like that, because I mean, in my own family, not calling anybody out, but that 23andMe, there's stories coming from the past, kids from the past, relationships from the past, and it's like, hey, you got to, that's family. You know what I mean? And things happen, and life happens, and nobody's perfect. And
don't cast stones.
Exactly what I was going to say. Onto someone else. It's like, listen, check your own family, like little circle and dynamic, and see if there's nothing there. Yeah, exactly.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
But if you would have came up with it first, that would have been another gummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have to take it back now.
Okay.
But you didn't.
I know. Whatever. Move on.
Some classic Hollywood memorabilia is hitting the auction block next month. You can bid on Princess Leia's gown that Carrie Fisher wore in Star Wars.
That's going to be big.
It's expected to fetch between $1 and $2 million.
I think that's low.
I think it's low, too.
That's not the dress I was thinking, though. I was always thinking of the
the Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a bikini.
No, not the gold bikini, but the toga one. She's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, we need you. You're our only help.
Right. Oh. See, I'm thinking that's Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
That's that super embarrassing scene where they all get medals at the end.
I know, that was weird.
Yeah, and so I don't know if that. I think you're right.
Dress.
Maybe that's the dress. But I mean, just you know, the people that are able to throw $2 million at some memorabilia are probably Star Wars fans. They were born, you know, late 70s.
I would assume. So.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, but they have the money and they grew up in that era. Like my kids, I can't get them into Star Wars. When you look at Star Wars for a young person now, it's slow. There's a lot of men taking long walks on the deck of a battleship having conversations.
Yeah, it's deep about good and evil.
But kids' stuff moves faster, but for people our generation, I would think that would go for like 5.
I know.
Especially because Carrie just passed.
Yeah, yes. But speaking of kids, there's also, is this correct, a soiled Harry Potter costume worn by Daniel Radcliffe?
Yes, we just saw
someone soiled it?
Oh, they spilled something on it. Look at that.
But soiled, does that mean what I think it means?
No.
No, that's their equivalent of a game-worn jersey. You know, it's just like,
But
hey,
if I said I soiled myself, what would you think happened?
but they're just using the wrong. They should use game worn. Just like if you got a Kobe jersey and it was like soiled, you're like,
maybe if Daniel Radcliffe soiled it, people would pay more. I don't know. There's some weird people out there.
Rainwater, Jeff.
That's from the Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. You want to keep going? Gladiator, Maximus costume. Jeff. Listen, I would totally soil this thing if I had it.
Yes.
I would love it. I would love to have that.
Now, Jeff, realistically,
how much would you pay?
Jeff, you are notorious. I don't call you cheap, Jeff. I like that you are thrifty. So honestly, in Jeff's world, if that is under $10,000, does Jeff put a bid in? This is your favorite movie.
I know.
When I see Gladiator, I think about you.
Yeah.
So under 10 racks, is Jeff going in?
I would like to treat myself.
Yeah. I think.
Where would you
have that
put
in your
it?
basement
In your office?
forever?
Yeah.
In your office, yeah.
His office.
I would.
Yeah, under glass and be like, are you not
that
entertained?
in the pool table room.
Would you not? We got to wrap, but I would do some naughty things in that costume. Coming up on DBL, we're going behind the scenes of the Cannes Film Festival with our very own Stephanie Jones.
Ooh.
And Blake Shelton says goodbye to the Voice. And is Katy Perry ready to walk away from American Idol as well?
Ooh.
And stick around because we are announcing the winner of our Beaches Escape to Paradise sweepstakes.
Yes, yes.
DBL. This show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point. But I'm gonna have a conversation about what's happening now. Favorite Wes Anderson movies? Anyone?
I was enjoying a gummy break.
I had a good. Bottle Rocket's excellent. Rushmore. Royal Tenenbaums is good.
I do like the Royal Tenenbaums a lot.
It's a great movie.
It's such a dry sense of humor. You know what I mean? You have to
very
totally.
perfect, right?
Yeah, you totally
What's
have
the movie
to be.
about the hotel? I like that.
Grand Budapest.
Grand Budapest.
Yeah.
I watched that just in its. I've heard that this is kind of an issue with Wes Anderson films. They're shot so exquisitely that the movie gets lost.
Yep.
But I've looked at YouTube videos about just the lighting of each scene and how people are
incredible.
backlit and how he. It's really fascinating. It's almost like a visual experience that happens to have dialogue.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Every scene is a piece of art in itself. So if you just take a scene and take a picture, each one is perfectly positioned. It's almost obsessive and compulsive. We interviewed Henry Winkler, and he was lucky to be in the last one. And he said, he came over to him and said, could you move 1 centimeter to the left? And he's like, I will, and I'll be happy to.
Right.
Like, that was all he said for direction. So Wes has this great perfectionism, I guess you would say, but it's such a cool style. But I will be honest, ever since like Rushmore or Royal Tenenbaums, I didn't love Moonlight Kingdom. I didn't like the Darjeeling Limited. So I'm hoping for a new Wes Anderson I can really claw my way into.
I think it's time.
It's time. Like M. Night Shyamalan. I'd like one like Sixth Sense again.
Yeah, but that was like 21 years.
Is M. Night Shyamalan gonna ever make a movie we all really like again?
No.
Oh,
I think he was a one-hit wonder, but his one hit was one
not
of
a one. Signs
Did
was
you like-
good.
There was a couple.
Signs was good.
Did you like The Village?
I didn't. I didn't.
it was all right.
I thought it was okay, but Sixth Sense was so phenomenal.
Yeah, when I saw what was that movie?
Your towel, your hat, sandals, sunnies, and sunscreen. They're the must-have accessories of the summertime. But when you're lathered up in last season's SPF, is it more than just out of fashion? Let's verify. Does sunscreen expire? Here's a look at the sources we checked in with to find out. And yes, sunscreen expires, after which time there's no assurance.
Welcome back. The Voice crowned its latest winner last night, but the show was all about Blake Shelton, who is leaving the reality show after its 23rd season. I can't believe it's been out that long.
I didn't know it was that long.
That's how old I am.
Blake sang a duet with one of his Team Blake finalists who ended up losing to one of Niall Horan's team members. He's from One Direction, if you didn't know. Later, some of Blake's former team members from past seasons came out to surprise him. His wife, Gwen Stefani, who wasn't at last night's season finale, posted a throwback photo of the two and wrote, "Can't believe it's your last day. I care about you so much, I didn't even come."
Is that weird?
Right.
Is that weird?
No, she's got something to do.
Bigger than this?
Yeah, she's got like probably
It's
touring.
like your husband's retirement.
She's a huge public figure. I'm sure she had other things, and maybe
was he.
maybe he didn't want that to be shared, that spotlight to be shared.
See, well, what are you shaming Tom Hanks for? We just shamed Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
I just thought that was weird.
It is weird. All right, so meantime, there is speculation that Katy Perry might be leaving American Idol. So reports say Katy is threatening to quit over fears the show's producers are making her look like a nasty judge, because they don't really have that without Simon Cowell anymore.
Yeah.
She was booed this past season and was also slammed for mom-shaming a contestant for having kids at a young age. Again, I don't know, are we making too much of this, or is there true rumors that she might leave?
Okay, true rumors, because I think you taught me this. She didn't like her edit. And you always said to this, on a reality show, no matter what it is, right, the editors can create characters, and you said there always has to be a villain. You've always said that on Big Brother, on any reality show. And just like you said, Simon Cowell wasn't there. It's not going to be Lionel Richie who's going to be the mean one.
Absolutely.
And so, right, the mom shaming did not come across great. And then she had a couple of other instances where if the edit had been maybe a little different, it would have been a little bit better. But I think I would be tired of being edited looking like the villain if that's not the real narrative.
Well, we're talking about edits, but what we're really talking about is the idea that the public and how they view criticism has changed. You mentioned Simon Cowell. That was 20 years ago. And back then, there was the term mom shaming wasn't a thing.
True.
The term punching down and exploitation, all these kinds of people didn't talk like that. So the idea of a villain that they used to call that shooting it straight. Tori, you're a terrible singer. Jeff, you're the worst I've ever seen. That's why Simon Cowell is the favorite. But I don't know if Simon Cowell came out in 2023 and said that to an 18-year-old girl
And just broke her dreams.
or just said that.
I mean, he's on, what is it, America's Got, is he still on that? I think he's much softer. I think you're right.
But America's Got Talent is also like kind of less personal. You might be juggling or something.
True.
The idea of somebody being able to take that villain role, because everybody's like, oh, well, everybody needs a villain to drive things. I think you're asking somebody, unless that's their natural predisposition, to kind of commit career suicide. And I get what she's...
And possibly get canceled.
I get it now. I think 20 years ago, you should try to be the villain. You should market yourself as the villain. But, I have a friend, Corinne Kaplan. She was the villain on Survivor, and she still gets people coming after her.
If you lean into it, I had plenty of people that I did reality shows with, and some of them are, this guy Jesse, he's a wrestler now. You kind of lean into that role, and he's a great guy.
Right.
But we had a conversation one time, like, dude, people perceive you this way, you're not that way, but lean into that a little bit more, and he leaned into it, made a career out of it. It's just how much you're willing to take, right? You could be the villain on that show, but you don't want to be someone who shames someone for having a kid. That's going too far, right? But taking the other side and giving tough love, I think people want that sort of opinion. I think everything with blinders on and pads on all the walls, people are getting tired of that. You got to realize the world's a hard place, and sometimes you're going to get some tough criticism, at least in my house.
I like
Tell the internet that.
Good luck. We'll read some comments. I'm sure they have a different view. All right, coming up, our very own Stephanie Jones is at the Cannes Film Festival, and she's telling us about the big shots she's seen on the red carpet. And stick around, because we are announcing the winner of our Beaches Escape to Paradise sweepstakes.
Your towel, your hat, sandals, sunnies, and sunscreen. They're the must-have accessories of the summertime. But when you're lathered up in last season's SPF, is it more than just out of fashion? Let's verify. Does sunscreen expire? Here's a look at the sources we checked in with to find out. And yes, sunscreen expires, after which time there's no assurance the product remains effective, according to the FDA and dermatologists.
I would take it seriously. About 1 in 5 Americans gets a skin cancer at some point in life. If you're putting it on your skin, it's important that it does the trick for you. So I would take a look at that bottle.
However, you might not see that date printed on the sunscreen bottle. According to the FDA, they require sunscreens and other non-prescription drugs to have expiration date labels unless testing shows the product will remain stable for at least 3 years, which means anything that doesn't have a printed use-by date should be considered expired after 3 years. Try using a magic marker to write the date of purchase on your new bottles. And store sunscreen away from too much heat and direct sunlight to keep it from growing bad prematurely. If you can't be sure you did that even with last summer's stash, you might consider a trip to the sunscreen aisle.
If you've got sunscreen that's been hanging around since last year, it will still work, but it won't be as effective as it would have been if it was new.
And don't forget, on long days in the sun, no matter the SPF, experts say sunscreen should be reapplied at least every 2 hours, more when you're swimming or sweating. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about Tom Hanks' angry photo from the Cannes Film Festival. Well, our very own Stephanie Jones actually had a front row seat because she was at the premiere of Asteroid City. Al couldn't go.
No,
Here's a recap of her night.
He had an appointment.
Hi everyone, I'm with the lovely Sylvie and Kevin, and they are getting me red carpet ready to walk for Boucheron tonight at the Cannes Film Festival. And these guys have been so busy. They've been doing everyone's hair and makeup. They've done like 4 or 5 makeups a day. So they are superstars, so I'm like very grateful. So this is behind the scenes of the red carpet. So obviously Rocher is ready, looking very dapper in his suit. And here is a line of everyone. We are all in line to get in our cars. It's going to take us around the corner to walk the red carpet. So it's like very exciting. These are all the people that are literally waiting to get a glimpse of the stars getting out the cars and the red carpet. It's crazy, you guys.
You're not here.
We're not there. The car exploded. Come get the girls. I have to stay here with Woodrow.
I'm not the chauffeur. I'm the grandfather. Where are you?
Asteroid City, Farm Route 6, mile 75.
So I have had the most amazing time at Cannes Film Festival. I have literally been with Gigi Hadid, Tom Hanks, Scarlett Johansson, Jeff Bezos, and of course, Rocher. And now, with our very exclusive tickets, we're going to a private after party upstairs, and I cannot take you, no phones allowed. So I will love and leave you and see you back in the studio soon. Bye, guys.
Amaze. Yes. I'm jealous. That's all I'm going to say.
I want to go to Cannes.
Don't go anywhere because we are announcing the winner of our Beaches Escape to Paradise sweepstakes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Creating AI-generated content is incredibly easy. Let me show you. If I want to create a picture of a blonde woman eating an ice cream cone in Times Square, I just type a prompt into an AI generation tool like DALL-E, and about 60 seconds later, bam! 4 relatively harmless fake images of blonde women enjoying a snack. But AI-generated content is being created just as easily to spread misinformation, like this video with manipulated audio of President Biden appearing to reinstate the draft.
The recommended way forward will be to invoke the Selective Service Act.
He never said that. And if he had, it would have made national news. Instead, it was generated using AI technology. Using these sources, including Sui Liu, director of the UB Media Forensic Lab at SUNY Buffalo, I'll show you tips on how to spot AI-generated photos, videos, and texts so you can avoid sharing potentially harmful misinformation. Here's what to look for in fake video content. Movement. Is the subject moving? If you look here at this woman's neck, you can tell that her head is moving, but her body is static. Check to see if their body language and facial expressions appear odd or robotic. This is fake video claiming to show the New York District Attorney dropping charges against former President Donald Trump. The DA's mouth and audio are clearly out of sync.
The New York District Attorney's Office, after an extensive, thorough investigation, has decided to drop all charges against Donald Trump.
Other places to look for clues that the content is fake? The background. In this new prompt, we asked for a man holding a bird in front of a sign that says "No birds here." Check for numbers or letters in the background. Are they garbled? And the hands, are they misshapen? Are there too many or not enough fingers? When it comes to spotting AI-generated audio, our expert says one of his biggest concerns is impersonations. Reports of scammers pretending to be a family member in danger and in need of money are becoming more common.
Somebody out there used an AI machine to trick my grandpa.
To avoid falling for this type of scam, our expert shared a few tips. Tip 1. Listen for breaths. A real person takes breaths when they talk, between words, and makes noises. No breaths means you're probably dealing with AI. Tip 2. Families should agree on a secret code or phrase that they use if they suspect the person on the other line isn't who they say they are. Tip 3. Hang up and call the person back who supposedly contacted you to confirm that it was actually them. Finally, there's AI-generated text. Our experts say it's the hardest to detect, so I'm going to use AI to write the next portion of my script. I'm prompting ChatGPT to write a TV news script that is 3 sentences or less, explaining why AI-generated text can be difficult to detect. So here goes. Experts warn that AI-generated text can seamlessly replicate grammar, context, and even emotional nuances, making it harder to identify red flags or distinguish real news from fabricated stories. The need for improved detection tools and critical thinking skills is becoming crucial to combat the growing threat of AI-generated misinformation. Not bad, eh? There are a few free tools that check for AI-generated text, like Undetectable AI Checker and Copy Leaks. Just drop in the text and click Check for AI. But experts say they're not 100% reliable, which we can verify. Both tools thought the AI generation portion of my script was actually written by a human. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till. Or am I?
Welcome back. As gas prices are coming down, a lot of you might be thinking of planning a summer trip, and we have a few essential steps you should take before hitting the road. Tori seems very interested.
Yeah, I am.
That's Today Auto Alert, sponsored by Ox Car Care. First, check your tires. In some cases, you might even want to replace them if it's been a while since you've taken a long trip. Next, top off your engine oil, windshield cleaner, and all other fluids. Very important. And of course, check your battery. Replace it if it's older. The average car battery life is 3 to 5 years. That's it. And there's a chance yours might be closer to the end than you think. Ox Car Care is dedicated to providing with an amazing auto protection plan experience that works with your budget. If you're looking for better car care, give them a call today at 800-687-1821. Now the moment, well, at least one of the lucky viewer has been waiting for. It's time to announce the winner of our Beaches Escape to Paradise sweepstakes to beautiful Jamaica or Turks and Caicos.
Oh, you can choose?
Yeah, I know.
Choose. Oh. And you can choose to bring Al, too. Drum roll, please. Congratulations to Glennis Weeks from Connolly, Georgia. She watches DBL on 11 Alive. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the luxury vacation. And again,
Miss Glennis.
You know how
Al's here?
She knew that she was going to win because she's got her island dress on. Yeah. I am in bare feet. Yeah. Where you can walk right out from your hotel and you're already in the sand. God. She already had that outfit on. Glennis, I'm sure you have earned it. Enjoy your trip.
Absolutely.
It's going to be so great.
I wonder where she's going.
And now one of my things that they show in that is the horses in the water. Have either of you ridden horseback on a beach? That is a huge bucket list for me.
I feel like a huge hospital bill for you.
I was a competitive jumper growing up.
It was
on a horse?
Yeah, it's not just jumping.
Were you really?
I was.
Corey once jumped
didn't happen
3 times in a row, standing still. We'll see you tomorrow.